What's up, guys? We're gonna look at some comics. Hello, Warren.
Hey guys, how's everybody? So over here, this is what looks like to be our dedicated sort of Dark Knight's death metal stand. I can see a couple first editions and a couple, in fact a lot of the variant ones.
If you haven't read it, you better read it. We talked about this on our channel, but
Yeah.
and onto TVs.
Onto TPs, and again, Batman Day worldwide is coming, so whole selection of fantastic Batman books over here.
Old and new.
Yeah, I know this one, definitely a good one. The Black Mirror, Scott Snyder, Jock, Francesco Francavilla, very, very excellent title. Mark was reading this and we reviewed it on one of our episodes.
What a
Batman,
killer story.
White Knight. There's a whole Court of Owls down there. I know that's
Yeah, this was like
Very
Scott
good.
Snyder breaking through with Batman in a huge way.
massive, man. Here's one by the late Darwin Cook. Batman Ego. I have this in my collection. So there, deluxe edition is no less.
No.
I'm a huge fan of the deluxe edition, so
And have you read Morrison's Batman? I think it's Incorporated, if I'm not mistaken. What is that?
I honestly haven't.
Yeah, I haven't.
But I know that it's good. This was all around the time, memory serves me, this is when Batman's died, and Dick Grayson has assumed the mantle of Bat, and Damian is the natural Robin. All of that Batman kind of stuff was centered around that, and the relationship there. And the interesting thing about that was the dynamic almost flipped, where traditionally Batman was hard and gritty and all of that, and the Robin was the compassionate one, the light-hearted one. In that particular story, Morrison flips it all over because Dick Grayson is a bit more compassionate and a bit more understanding, whereas Damian was hard-edged and brutal and cold and calculating. So the whole dynamic of the two flips in that run that he did there. Fantastic work. And continuing in our Batman sort of run, because it's Batman Day or Batman Weekend for all of us here at Cosmic. A great one, the Dark Knight Saga. It collects both the Dark Knight Returns and I think it's the 1 to 3 of Dark Knight Strikes Again. All of this in this nice deluxe oversized book. I recently picked up my own copy of that. Individual, just the normal TP there, Dark Knight Strikes Again. More Batman in all his glory. Haunted Night, and I'm not seeing his Dark Victory. And can't see Long Halloween, but these are, just look out for these guys. They've recently decided to make them into an animated movies. I don't know if it's going to be one big animated or two parts if they're doing Long Halloween and then they're going to do Dark Victory second, but those are some great reads to pick up. Classic, one of my all-time favorites, Batman Under the Red Hood. Got Winnick Dunbanky. Fantastic story that over there.
Isn't that the Toddy Mac?
This is
Batman.
classic Toddy Mac cover over here. McFarlane signature in a bat. Yeah, man. Jim Starlin was writing this and a whole assortment of different artists, but that is the Toddy Mac cover. There's Nightfall, the classic story with Bane breaks Batman's back. And one of the all-time classics, Batman Year One, Brian Mazzucchelli, David Mazzucchelli and Frank Miller's take on that.
And lots of Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, classic Alan Moore story. Lots of Joker over here. Very nice. And the new one from Brian Azzarello, that was quite a good story too. Cutting over some of the more lighter side of the Batman universe. Batgirl, various incantations of it. I'm not familiar. Catwoman also making an appearance. Deceased over there, the collected hardcovers, and of course the Batman Who Lost in his mini-series.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you, Shane?
Good, man. How are you guys?
Yeah, very good. Thanks for joining us, man.
Cool.
For those that don't know, this is Shane. He's the owner of Cosmic Comics here in Blackheath in Johannesburg, South Africa. And he was kind enough to invite us to, spend some time in store with the staff, with some of the customers, and
just in this environment, which we're humbly grateful for that. Thank you.
Cool, awesome.
So anything that's on your mind, dude?
Nothing much. It's just so many titles, man, coming out and managing my budget, and also the Iron Studio stuff, which we can probably talk more about.
Yeah.
I know you ordered Wolverine, I ordered Gambit.
I did. Ghost Rider will follow. K will probably. Damn it.
I've got my eye on Poison Ivy, and I'm just like, I really want it, but
So I think that's a good place to start. Shane, tell us about Iron Studios. How did that come into your world?
So basically, we got the Minico figures, and we really like those.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a look at the Minico figures, then we asked the guys, look, can we get them? Because we battled to get them into South Africa.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We got some Stan Lees, and then we wanted more, so we approached them, and they said, cool. Let's
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Nice.
So we're waiting for the Avengers figures.
Like the movie-based Avengers.
Yes, the Minicos.
Okay.
Figures. So we're waiting for those, and the Iron Studio stuff. Yeah, we're getting some statues. There are a lot of delays because obviously,
COVID and all that.
the factories and the
Got you. The worldwide shipping dilemma.
It's crazy. Eh?
Yeah, and it's just, I think I'd actually, on that topic, I think we'd do a cool little reminder. We're going to do the giveaway really soon.
Yeah.
But Cosmic was friendly enough and awesome enough to sponsor us one of those little Stan Lees. We've showed it in a couple of episodes, and we're going to be doing that giveaway soon.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, that is the giveaway of the Stanley Minico.
Mm-hmm. Actually, probably going to do the draw this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
So watch out for that one, guys. And on the Iron Studio side, do you have a favorite statue there that you've got or your eye on?
The Omega Red, eh? That
Oh,
thing's
wow.
crazy. The Omega Red looks. I mean, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Of that character, but just the detail in it's insane. It looks like, so if you look at the earlier stuff, it looks like they're more and more detailed.
Yeah, we were busy saying with
So-
Brandon earlier that for the size and the price you're paying, they are
Yes.
by far the best detailed
Yeah,
statues
yeah,
out
for
there.
sure. They are a bit small. They're not like obviously massive statues. But
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
those are, you're looking at 30,000, 25,000.
Yeah.
The one that I am looking forward to as well is there's a massive Joker coming out.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I don't know if you guys know Prime Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they make all the big stuff.
Yeah.
So they're bringing out a Prime Studios Joker. Which
Wow.
is crazy because we got the picture and I put it up on the site and then Karen said, oh, yeah, here's the picture. And I was like, well, they're doing two. And they're totally different. It's the same statue.
Oh, wow.
So basically what they've done is they've given you, so usually there's an exclusive. With
Yeah.
This one they've given you 4 arms and basically they've given you 2 different heads. So
Oh,
one's the
wow.
staples in the head.
Yes,
and the
yes.
classic Jim Lee. Yeah.
Oh.
So you essentially, you've got 2 statues.
That's
They don't even
amazing.
they don't even look similar. The only thing that's obviously similar is the base.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, what I was even saying to Brandon previously when we chatted to him, what I find really fascinating about what I think Iron Studios has done really cleverly is because they're smaller, but they're nailing all the detail and at a good price point, they're doing all these characters that no one would expect. You know,
Yes.
Sideshow and them do Batman and they do all the
Yes.
characters that they know are going to sell. But now, like I saw you guys posted on your site, I mean, they're doing Blob from X-Men. And it's just such a
Sure.
random
And
offshoot
Have
character.
you seen that? That also looks
Yeah,
pretty
it
awesome.
looks amazing.
Yes. And like you say, Omega Red. I mean, I never thought I'd see an Omega Red
Yes.
statue.
Yeah, now they're doing the Lord of the Rings line. They're doing, you know, they're like really going to town, which
Yeah.
is
Yes, no, it's awesome.
And how are they being received by customers?
So
Are they?
the most popular one, I think it's Wolverine, but it's
Right.
Gambit. It's Gambit. It's crazy.
Really?
Yes, it's Gambit.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It's actually Gambit. Yeah.
You know,
That is cool.
I could be wrong, but what I think that is if you look at the Gambit collections, there's an old Sideshow one which is limited to 750, and that it's like hen's teeth, you can't find it. And then now there's the new Sideshow and the new XM one, like you said, they're the 25,000-30,000 rand range. So
Okay.
for people to find a little Gambit that's a similar pose where it's in that 4,000-5,000 rand range, there's so many guys
win,
that
man.
always wanted a Gambit that could
Yes.
never own one, and now they can. So I think that's why it's been such an underdog.
That is
And I mean, I
amazing.
saw, I think it was Sideshow, it looks very similar, the pose. And it's also, I mean, if you can afford to buy one of those, I mean, that thing's awesome.
It is
Yeah.
100%. But
Yeah.
like you say, 20, 30 grand. Not everyone can
But,
do
that's,
that.
that's like a statue once a year, maybe. I don't think guys are buying statues every month. I mean, it's probably like a lot of guys will buy them as centerpieces as well.
Ah,
You know what I
okay.
mean? So like
Yeah.
your favorite character is Gambit. So
Yeah.
I would like collect comics, but then you'd get just that statue.
Got
Yeah.
you, yeah. And he'd be in the center of the cabinet, so to
Yes,
speak.
for sure.
Okay,
Yes,
got
yeah.
you. Okay. And going a little bit further back, When did you actually start collecting comic books? How old were
Sure.
you?
So I was about 6 or 5 years old, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So my gran used to get comics. She used to get a pack of comics,
Oh, yeah.
and she used to read a lot of the horror comics.
Ah,
I think
okay.
it's Cain and Abel.
Right. Yes.
That
Yes.
dude with the skinny
Wow.
dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so those, and then she used to get a lot of Superman. I used to look at the Superman comics.
Wow.
Yeah, so she used to like get a pack of comics once a month, and then obviously buying at cafes later on, and then obviously everyone then gets out of comics, and then I
Yeah.
can collect comics for like ages, and then I started collecting again as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Were you like in your teens or late 20s
Oh, so
or?
probably late 20s.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, late 20s, and then I started getting Batman stuff again,
Oh, all right.
which is crazy because I started getting into comics again because I was at CNA. And,
Yeah.
there was a Batman, I think it was Detective, but the cover was weird. It was like they didn't draw it. It was actually like statues, but like putty Batmans.
Okay.
And I picked it up and I was like, oh my god, this is the worst cover I've ever seen. and I started paging through the book.
Yeah.
Reading the book, and I was like, and then that's how by picking up like,
Wow.
which is weird.
That is so cool,
Yeah,
man.
so I started collecting comics like that. Then obviously CNA used to have a massive thing where you used to buy comics in the 80s.
yes.
Where they had those bins.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
everything in
And,
there.
yes, so it was always Batman, Justice League, Superman. So that's
Okay.
what I collect, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
And then from there to your own store. How did
Yeah,
that
so
happen?
That was crazy. So when I came up to Joburg, there's a friend of mine, he's a DJ.
Okay.
And I wasn't doing anything, I was waitering. And the guy said, oh, what are you into? So I said, oh, comics. So he said, oh, why don't you sell comic books? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? Comic books? And then we went to Hillfox Flea Market.
Oh, right. Yes, yes.
And I was there, and he was like, oh, get comics, and why don't you set up a table? And I thought, she said, it'll be fun. It'll be weird to see if anyone actually buys comics.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, comics, we were selling them for like R5, R6.
Back then, yeah,
Yes.
man. Sure.
And so we put up a table, and I think I sold 3 comics. And I was like, oh my God, it's awesome. And yeah, that's what we did.
Wow, that is
Yes.
such a cool story.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I sold 3 books. It's crazy. It was like guys came and then they looked and they're like, oh, what's this? And then they, oh, yes, 15 Rand. And I was like, yeah, big time.
We've got something here.
So then obviously we carried on, and then we opened up a small shop at Heathway where it
I
was
remember.
basically a storeroom. The first shop was a storeroom. It was actually storing engine parts.
Really?
Yeah. And I went to the lady at Heathway and I said, look, I want to open up a shop. And she I said, what do you want to sell? And I said, oh, comics. And she started laughing at me. And I was like, yeah. And she said, well, and then I said, oh, I could only afford a small amount. And again, she laughed at me, and I was like, okay, cool. And then she was like, well, we got the storeroom that you can use. Like, it's a shop. It's a little shop.
Right.
They actually had engine parts stored on the carpet.
So amazing.
And she said, okay, well, you can have this, so we'll take this shop. And yeah, I didn't even have money to clean the carpet. So I got an old mat from my house.
Yeah.
And I basically put it over the engine grease. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
And I
crazy.
remember coming to that store on some weekends, your store was like jam-packed when you were doing
Yeah,
like
that was later, yeah.
card game type things.
Yeah,
and
that
all
was
the-
much later because when we first started, I mean, I had about 10 boxes of comics,
Okay.
and obviously which we found out while the shop was so small, it was obviously some Photoshop, like Photo First, or
Right.
because there was a stage where I was actually leaning against the wall and I fell through the wall, and there was another room. And it was black, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And it was actually a dark room.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And we,
Oh,
pushed
wow.
it. Yes, it was weird.
That is cool. So you
Yeah.
actually had more space than I take
Yes,
it. Oh,
yes.
brilliant.
It's crazy. I was like, okay.
Wow, that's so cool. And then I remember you moved from there to kind of up the road
Yeah,
from
Northcliffe,
here.
Yeah.
And then that store just, you outgrew that so much. I mean, I remember you had stuff stacked on top of stuff to the roof almost.
So the big thing is the rentals. The rents can kill any business, like
Yeah.
seriously. So what was happening at Heathrow is we were there for years,
Yeah.
and they basically wanted to move us because the Sheet Street wanted the shop. So they moved us. We were in a small store.
Right.
And they said, no, we'll put you in a big store. But if you guys have any problems, don't worry. We'll put you in a smaller store.
Okay.
Anyway, so 2 years later, we were like, look, we need to move into a smaller store. This is too big for us. And then they basically turned around and said, oh, who did you speak to? And the lady had moved. Anyway, there's a whole story.
Oh, no.
Because basically the electricity there was like 4,500 Rand for lights
Oh,
a month.
yeah.
And
Wow.
eventually we found out what they were doing, which was ridiculous. They actually turned around and what they were doing is they were charging us. So they had a lot of empty shops. So they would take the electricity bill and just divide it amongst the stores.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
So we there's a whole thing that.
Yeah,
that
so when you got like Toys R Us and Pick and Pay and all those guys
Well, I
there.
don't know how it worked, but at the end of the day, I mean, we were paying 4,500. I mean,
That's
I think
crazy.
the bill, I could be wrong. I think the bill was like 800 rand, and then all of a sudden it's like 4,500 rand. And they leave the
Wow.
lights on. All the shops that were vacant, they leave the lights on.
Oh, no, that's crazy. That's
So,
insane.
it was mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, now we are here. This place is amazing.
Yes,
I mean,
it's very cool. Yeah.
it's space. You've got everything here.
Yeah. The big thing about this is obviously we're on the side there, so a lot of guys miss the entrance.
Okay,
But,
right.
yeah, once they find it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool because it's quite big.
Yeah, and then the parking that you got outside is also
that's awesome.
tremendous.
Yeah, from the previous, I remember I'd always like drive up the. Is
north
it
of-
Bayers? Yeah, and I'd be like, please let there be parking today. Please let there be parking.
No, I think we had about maybe like 6 or 7 parking spots.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
it.
and sometimes there was enough space for 2 cars to park like right
Yeah,
on top
it's
of each
mad,
other.
yeah, it's crazy.
You've come a long way. It's great,
Yeah,
man.
So yeah, let's see. But yeah, so this is pretty awesome. We'll just have to you'll see how long we're gonna be. I think we're gonna be here for about another 3 or 4 years.
I can see it. As long as they treat you well here, then
Yeah, no,
Stay
for
with it.
sure. Sure. Did you see the signage outside?
Yeah.
dude, it looks amazing.
Massive, eh?
Yeah, jeez, it's like
It's
the
the
whole
two-story
side here.
two-story sign. It's mad, eh? I was just concerned. I just hope they've got little holes in there because I'm
Oh,
just worried.
wind and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Take the building.
One big giant parachute.
Exactly. So I'm like, "Jeez." But the guy assures me that it'll be fine. So let's see.
Well, I hope so. But it is nice, and,
No,
and
it's
you can't
awesome.
miss it now.
Yes,
I mean,
massive, man.
it's
massive,
fantastic.
yeah. Like a ship. Seriously. Anyway.
And in terms of like nowadays, what are you collecting?
So I've always collected all the DC and the Marvel titles.
Mm.
So mainly DC. So I mainly collect Batman, Superman, you know, all the
Yeah.
classic stuff. So I collect
Right.
like that. And then the stuff for Marvel, I'm collecting Venom and Thor.
Okay, yeah.
Donny Cates stuff. I mean, that stuff's
He's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Sure, he's cool.
He's also doing that big mini series at the end of the year.
Oh, really?
The Back in Black. Is
Oh,
it Back in Black?
I think it could be, yeah.
The
With all Venom stuff, yeah.
So that's going to be quite huge.
Jeez,
So
okay.
we're waiting for all the advertising material for that, and then we'll put that up probably in the next month.
No, nice. Okay,
So
awesome
that's
stuff.
gonna be huge. Yeah.
And for all the collectors out there, what is your prize comic, your gem in your collection?
So right now it's Amazing Spider-Man 300. So I've seen
Oh,
it to
okay.
CGC.
Nice.
I actually bought a copy from Canada. I paid about $350, I think,
Sure.
and it arrived and it was pristine.
Oh,
Which I was
wow.
worried because the shipping, FedEx, and it can get damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sent it off to CGC,
Uh-huh.
and if it gets a 9.8, it's worth $2,500.
Jeez.
And I don't know if you saw what happened last night.
Uh-uh.
They've now gone up to $3,700.
Seriously?
That's ridiculous.
Venom is
Yeah, it's
you're
mental.
huge
And
now.
I actually sold my copy a while ago. I thought it was going to die.
It's massive. They're saying it's one of the biggest modern age books out there right now. But that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if
big.
it will hold that price. You know, that's a lot of money.
It is.
But even if it
What is that even in rands? I don't even. $3,700.
can't do the math, yeah.
You know
I'd
what I
say you're
mean?
looking at...
It's probably about 70,000 rand.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
around
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if it
For
halves in value,
$300 that you paid, I mean,
yeah,
that's...
even if it halves in value, I mean, that's still like $1,500 anyway. So
100%. That's a massive
Yeah.
increase in
That's
return.
massive.
That's
So-
awesome.
So if anyone's got those books, I mean, get them CGC. Even if they're not 9.8, the book, even if
It's worth it.
Yeah, a very fine or fine, like a 6. Yeah, it's worth.
It's got to be off the back of all the work Donny Cates has done with that character to make him cool
Yeah.
again.
Remember, so the two big things that's happened is that, and the other major factor is Todd McFarlane's back.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's back. So what happened with Todd McFarlane is he disappeared for, I don't know, I'm guessing like, let's call it 10 years.
Yeah, yeah,
And
with his
now-
own
and
stuff
now
there.
He's back.
Okay.
So he, since, it was, I think it's, again, I could be wrong, it's been about 2 years or a year.
Yeah.
Where he's basically come back and he did that Batman Black and White. That's
Yes,
supposed to come out. but
right.
They keep cancelling and then we're going to have to reorder.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that. And then he's done a lot of, sorry man,
Yeah, no
he's
problem.
done a lot of figures for DC.
Oh, okay.
Sorry man.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, no
just
problem.
he's back. I mean, that documentary that they released on
Yeah.
him. So there's a lot of publicity around him.
Yeah,
so
true. And if that Spawn movie ever does come out, I'm sure he's going to be just huge again, Todd McFarlane.
So what he did for the Spawn movies, he actually, I think what he's done is he went to CGC and he went and did a massive signing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did that because to get more cash for the movie.
Okay,
More
got you.
hype.
So we'll
Yeah.
see, yeah.
Sure.
And then have
Okay.
you guys seen the first movie? Like, have you seen it recently?
Spawn?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I saw it was on Netflix again. I think
Yeah, so-
Netflix had it on there.
Sorry, man.
No,
No
no problem.
stress.
You're a busy man. It's your store, man. People are phoning for deals.
It's crazy.
They don't want to talk to anyone else. They want Shane.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens.
crazy.
That's cool. Okay, so that's your big jewel at the moment. Nice to know. That's
Yeah,
very
but
nice.
you've got a couple of other major issues.
So I've got. Let me actually just. Sorry, man. I just want to turn this off too.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's see. So basically, yeah. So I've got a couple of CGCs. I don't have anything like that though. I mean, not a 9.8, an expensive book.
Okay,
I've got
yeah.
what everyone else has got. Like, I'll have like a very rare book, but it'll be
It's
like a
low
three-
grade,
three
yeah.
or a 4.
Got
like,
you.
I've got the first appearance of Swamp Thing. And
Okay.
I've got a 4.5.
Yeah.
Sheesh, even that's a
know what I
good
mean?
grade for that kind
Yeah.
of
No, I
comic.
was lucky. I bought that at. I actually bought that at Outer Limits for $200.
Nice.
Really?
Yes. Back in the day. I mean,
Wow.
I'm not even into Swamp Thing, but I was like, was it? Yeah, it was House of Secrets.
Yeah, 92, yeah.
So I basically bought there. I think I paid $200 for it, and I was just like, sure, it's a first appearance. It was a girl. She's brushing her hair.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the shadow, you see Swamp Thing lurking.
Yeah.
And
So
that
it was-
comic is huge now.
That book in the grade that I have, it's worth about $1,000.
Yeah. Give or take.
So yeah.
And again,
And you've got the
$200 you paid for it.
yeah, and,
Exactly. But you don't know, you know what I mean? If everyone
Yeah.
knew, everyone would have gone and bought one.
yeah, and also
100%.
it's I think it's a combination of things. I mean, it's Swamp Thing. He's a classic, and Justice League Dark is coming up big time now.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it's Bernie. What am,
Wrighton.
yeah,
Bernie
that's,
Wrighton.
I mean, he's passed away, and I mean that always
Oh,
generally
okay.
adds to values of books and
100%.
stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Len Wein also had something to do
Yeah, he
with.
was massive. His first whole run was like iconic.
Yeah,
Before
so-
Alan Moore jumped onto
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think it's got a combination of, and it has got that old horror like tone to it.
Right.
So yeah, that book's very sought after.
Okay.
Besides the fact that it's a first appearance.
Yeah.
Swamp
Yeah.
Thing, I mean, he's a major character.
Yeah.
100%.
Sure.
And you've got Batman Day coming up?
So Batman Day is quite a big day around the world, but I see DC. Sorry, DC hasn't offered anything to anyone. Which is
Really?
weird. Yeah, it's weird, eh?
Yeah.
There's no comics or anything unless we've missed it. I don't know. So what we're doing is we're just going to take the stuff that we've got and then
Yeah.
we're going to have like a sale. It's going
Awesome.
to be like 50% off statues and figures.
That's
If you buy
nice.
any Batman graphic novels or comics, then
Mm.
that's 2 and then you get 1 free. So you buy 2,
Awesome.
get 1 free, the cheaper one, yeah.
Fantastic.
So we're gonna do that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great, man.
But yeah, it's crazy that there's no Batman stuff. Like a reprint of a comic, they usually do something like that, or you get buttons or badges. Or
Yeah,
something.
I remember that as well, yeah.
mugs or something. It's
Yeah.
weird. So I don't know if we missed it.
Oh, I wonder if DC are still trying to settle from all of this change that they're going
that's
through.
crazy. So DC is now with the distributors is basically Midtown Comics, and there's another company on the other side of America, and they're the distributors for DC Comics.
Okay.
And they're cancelling a lot of titles. It looks like smaller titles, like Supergirl had 2 more issues left and got
Right, I saw
cancelled.
that.
Even the one Constantine title also got.
Yeah.
got 12 or something now.
Yeah,
they
the
cleared it.
writer tweeted about it and said he's gutted.
Sure.
But I think that's all got to do with, I mean, there's 800 jobs that I think Warner themselves downscaled because of the whole COVID thing. And
Yeah.
It's crazy. Eh?
Well, even with that, I mean, you were helping me now in the front just now, and to shipping seems like it's a nightmare. Where some stuff is, it was ordered, and you don't know if it's coming or not, and then you
Yes.
have to reorder it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so basically, a lot of reorders they usually take like say 3 to 4 weeks. They're taking anything from like 5 to 8 weeks.
wow.
So we think there's a skeleton staff at Diamond,
Oh.
which they do everything else. That's not DC.
Okay.
And the DC guys, what's happening there is it looks like they don't have a lot of stuff. So like I don't even know what's going on. Like a lot of graphic novels that should be in print, they don't even have the stuff.
Sheesh.
So Diamond always
crazy.
used to keep the stuff. It was always
Yeah,
available.
and they always had a certain stock level.
Yes,
Sure.
these new guys, and again, I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like they've got the stuff. And
Wow.
from what I'm seeing, guys are complaining about it, and they're like, don't worry, we'll get it, but
They're not getting it.
no, there's nothing. So,
And like you said, I mean, Diamond were geared for that massive warehouses, and
yes.
now it's basically to comic stores
yeah,
that are trying to take over distributorship. That's
yeah.
It's
So a
a
lot of
big
guys
ask.
were concerned about that in the States. Another thing I was even saying to Karen, maybe we should buy, like if we get 10 books, maybe we should be buying 200 books, and we should just get the comics bound. Seriously, because
Yeah.
where the graphic novels, like what is going on?
100%.
I
And
mean,
we've
so-
got guys here that can do all of that binding and
Yeah,
everything.
So I was actually saying, and Karen was like, no, definitely not. But I mean, I was like, what is going to happen? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Hey,
crazy,
It is worrying, and I've heard a lot of talk that DC's focus is going more to online stuff, their apps, and all of
what I
that.
heard as well. Yeah.
So
I mean, we don't know. We just have to see what happens.
yeah,
So yeah, that's what I've also heard though.
that'll be sad though to like less stuff from DC. That's
Crazy.
yeah, that is crazy.
But I don't know. A thing that might happen is you don't know, but maybe they'll actually hand over the comics to someone else to print. So maybe they'd approach Image or Dynamite or someone like that.
Okay,
And
right.
actually say, look, we don't want to print comics, but we want comics printed, but we're not interested. So you
Right.
take over that side, and then it'll be like a license.
Got you. Yeah, license all their characters and let
So I
them.
wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. So
Sure.
So it didn't sell the comic side, just basically rented it out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I know that. Again, I don't know if it's Boom Studios. Anyways, it's another company, not Marvel, and they're printing Marvel comics.
Yes, I've seen that. A lot of the
Yes.
old collected edition stuff and deluxe
But
things
even
there.
new stuff because there was
Oh,
there was a
really?
first print of a Gold Hulk apparently.
Really?
Karen knows, but it's not done by Marvel.
Wow.
Jeez.
It was
Okay.
Boom or Dynamite's one of those. So
That's
they're doing new
crazy.
stories, but
Wow, that's a major shift in the industry.
it's crazy.
I mean, those guys have been around since like the 40s and stuff.
yes,
and
why
now,
would they let someone else print the
yeah,
comics? Yeah.
that is crazy.
Weird,
Well, it's a brave new COVID world, I think, huh?
Let's see what happens. Jeez.
Well, yeah. Kudos to you guys for sticking through and surviving so
Oh,
far.
it's just the shipping will be back on track. I think in about 2 weeks. Looks like
Okay.
it's getting a lot better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
that's
the,
good.
The actual flights, not the.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
because we've
you,
gone
yeah.
into level 1 now, so
Because the flights are basically about 3 weeks behind. So not even the.
Wow.
Not even the orders, just the flight.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shh. Okay, so they're catching up with that backlog and getting back.
Yeah.
Thank God. Okay.
So, if you liked what Mark and I were talking about here, or just like our content in general,
Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more videos.
and yeah, do us a favor and find us on the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
See you in the next video.